Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. So it's 8:50 right now, which is kind of late for me for waking up, but it's the weekend and I felt like I really needed to sleep in. I really needed to sleep in, and so I'm going to get started on my morning routine. Show you guys what my morning looks like on a weekend, and I'll get more into that later. But let's get into it. I'm gonna do a skincare. Start with the, what is this? The First Aid Beauty Pure Skin Facial Cleanser. This is the First Aid Beauty Pure Skin Facial Cleanser, and I got this from Ulta. Been using this product for over a year, and I really like it. We're done with the facial cleanser. We're gonna go in with this Thayer's. This is the Witch Hazel and Rose Petal, and this is my reusable bamboo cotton round. And then toss them in the wash and use them again. Highly recommend. With my DIY glow serum right here. I'll make a video on that if y'all are interested, but let me know. I'm gonna go in with these Weleda. This is the Weleda Skin Food Ultra Rich Cream. Obsessed with this stuff. As you can see, I'm practically out of it. Last but not least, for the skincare, we cannot forget the sunscreen. I've been using the Biossance Zinc and Squalene sunscreen, and it works really well. But we're gonna make it do what it do with what we have. Okay, now that we're done with the face, I'm gonna take off my headscarf. Y'all, got 2-strand twist in because I want my hair to be crinkly for vacation. So I literally put these in last night in the dark in the bedroom. So if they looking how they looking, then they looking how they looking. But I have my spray bottle. This is distilled water and aloe vera juice. And so I'm just gonna spray my hair to moisturize it. It's not really working how it should be working, y'all, but we're gonna keep rocking with it. This is supposed to be a 360 sprayer, but it's not really working how it's supposed to be working, but y'all, I ain't got time to buy a new one, so we're gonna keep rocking with it. Out of my robe, but first I'm gonna take my levothyroxine. I have hypothyroidism, so that requires that I have to take this levothyroxine 50 micrograms every morning on an empty stomach. So I'm gonna do that right now because sometimes I forget. And then I have my water with a little bit of ice and my straw, so I'm just gonna take this really quick. Okay. I'm gonna get changed out of this outfit into something more comfortable and relaxing. I'm gonna do a 15-minute, I guess, stretching video. And then I'm gonna go to my altar and show you guys some of the practices that I do to really help me, to ground me. And yeah. Okay, so I'm changed in my jumpsuit, about to start stretching. But one thing that I just wanna let you guys know is that although I'm creating this morning routine video, this is not my typical morning during the work week, during Monday through Friday. And that's because I wake up at 6 a.m. and I start work at 6 a.m. And so I don't really have a ton of buffer time to really pour into me or to really do the things that I want to do. So this is kind of my weekend morning routine, or my ideal one, my morning routine that I'm trying to manifest. I really want to have slow mornings because I feel like it's important to do all the things that are going to help me and ground me and then go about my day. But that isn't always the case for me Monday through Friday. So I just want to be transparent and let y'all know that I wake up at 6 on Mondays and I start work at 6. So I mean, I could wake up early theoretically, but I have a hard enough time getting up at 6 sometimes, especially because I don't go to bed on time. So yeah, this is like a morning routine that's for the weekends, but also a morning routine that I want to manifest into my future. I want to be able to have slow mornings and do things like this, but I don't have the time to do that, or I don't create the time to do that right now. So yeah, I'm still super excited to record this video because these are things that I do during the work week, during Monday through Friday. But the thing about it is, I don't necessarily do this at the top of my day. I kind of get it in where I can fit it in when it comes to the work week. So if like my boss has a meeting, I'll do what I can with my routine, and it's kind of just like spread out throughout the day and not really back to back like this, how I would like it. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to lay out my yoga mat and show you guys the stretch video that I'm doing today. Okay. Oh boy. So today's stretch video is, so I'm trying to make it a habit to stretch every day because I have really tight hip flexors and lower back, and so I'm really just trying to make sure that I open those things up, just have like relief of pain. But recently I found out that I have a tilted pelvis, for pelvic tilt, whatever you want to call it, and I had been having trouble walking and standing for like more than 10 minutes. But I found this lady on TikTok who has these somatic exercise and stretch movements to help, one, correct your pelvic tilt, but also two, to help you release stored up energy and trauma in your body. And it's called the workout witch. Open your hips up. And honestly, I tried acupuncture, going to the chiropractor, and just regular stretching, and this is really the only thing that works for me. So if you having some tight hip and mobility issues, I will definitely link her course below. I think it was like $47 when I got it. And it's a 30-day program. Okay, so now that the stretching is out the way, I am back on my mat, as you can see, and I'm going to do a few of these spiritual practice that I typically do on my day-to-day. And so I'm sitting on my mat because I'm in my bedroom and I'm at my altar, which is what I will show you guys. I have just created an altar for the first time recently, within like the last month. And so I'm still working on the altar and still trying to figure out what items of importance need to be on it. But I'll show you guys what I have so far, and then I'll start off with the spiritual practices. Here is my altar. Right now, I just have a bunch of crystals on it, and then I have this candle here that I use to actually light when I start working on my spiritual practices. I also have this incense holder if I want to burn incense, and then I have my tarot cards right there. So this is my altar. I just started it, and yeah, we're still trying to figure out what needs to be on it. Fun fact, this is actually a laptop lap desk that I'm using for my altar space, just because I didn't know what else to use. So every day I try to come here and sit at the altar, and then just like as a place to ground myself, and it's really just like my own place to just be. And then also, I forgot to mention this, I have this here, which is like some roll-on oil. It's for clarity, and it's an essential oil blend of lavender and peppermint, and so sometimes I'll apply this to my skin before practicing. But yeah, let's get started. So actually today I think I will go ahead and apply this clarity oil, because one of the things that I've been asking for in this practice is for clarity, for guidance, for ease, and then just for direction. So I usually just apply it here, and then this one, and then sometimes I'll apply a little bit of this to like my neck, a little over my heart, and sometimes behind my ears. I just really like putting oil back there, essential oils back there, especially peppermint. But yeah, and then maybe occasionally I'll do like a little bit here, just to make sure that I can smell it. Okay, so to begin this practice, I'm going to light this candle. This is an Earth's Element wellness candle, and this candle is for enlightenment. So I'm gonna light the candle. Oh, there's a hair in there. I'm gonna light the candle. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in the center of my altar. Okay, so lately I've been starting with tarot readings for myself, just pulling 1 to 3, maybe 4 cards. And this is the book that explains what the cards mean. I have only ever used affirmation cards or oracle cards, but something that I've been trying to learn more about lately is just like how to connect better with your ancestors, so you can communicate with them, have a relationship with them, even though they are not with us in the physical realm anymore. And part of this came from my trip to Dallas, Texas this past April, where I learned a lot about my ancestors, because I don't know, for some reason I don't know a lot about them. Their memories are not really kept alive. People don't really talk about them unless you ask questions. So learning a little bit about them kind of just inspired me to want to connect with them better, to get to know them in the spiritual realm at least, because I did not have the opportunity to meet them physically. So I've been learning a little bit more about that. Still diving into that part of the journey, but we're getting there. Okay, so I have my tarot cards. I'm just going to do a quick shuffle here. So there's something from this book that I recently pulled. It's called When to Pull and How to Pull, and it's really just a guide on what to do. So a card a day is a great start. If you have any questions, make sure your phone is silenced, and then they state the intention out loud, and I really like the intention that they state. So they say, ancestors known and unknown and spirit guides, I call upon you for your guidance and wisdom. So that's typically what I say as well. And then I just shuffle these cards. Sometimes I'll ask a question Other times I'll ask for guidance, or I'll just say like, um, I'll just say like, allow me to receive the message that I'm meant to receive through these cards. I kind of just trust that I'll still learn how to shuffle y'all this big deck. But I just trust that the message that I receive is the message that I'm meant to receive. So I'm just gonna shuffle as best as I can. See, for this particular pull, I would say my intention is, I want to say guidance, because I feel like where I am now on this journey, I'm really looking for guidance, and I'm really looking for direction and understanding as to what to do. You know, like I have a lot of things that I want to do, but just need some clarity on what's meant for me. So I pulled 2 cards, and let's see, the first one is the 8 of Baskets. And then the second card is the Father of the Wands. These are cards that I've ever pulled before. I mean, the 8 of Baskets looks pretty similar, but let me just go ahead and turn to it in the book. Okay. I actually have pulled this card before, y'all. But I keep pulling it, which is why I'm kind of just like, I need to really like pay attention to the words on the page, but I'll share with y'all. So the 8 of Baskets is, the traits of this are escapism and withdrawal. And the card description is, a woman starts down a new path, leaving behind all her baggage. She knows she could sit and wallow in emotions connected to the past that have led her to this point. It takes courage to walk away and forge a new route. At times, we have to stop and admit to ourselves that things are no longer working and are unable to be mended. It's not an easy decision to withdraw from someone or something that you have invested so much time, energy, and love into, but acknowledge that not everything is meant to last. The 8 of Baskets is about honoring what is meant for you and being able to freely say goodbye to all that no longer resonates. It is the most tender-hearted of breakups that, while difficult, is necessary. We cannot keep giving time and energy and space to people and things that hurt us or hold us back. It's time to release the soul ties that are no longer serving you. I just think it's so funny that every time I pull this card and I ask for guidance, this is exactly what I get. There's like some things you need to leave behind, some people you need to leave behind, and now I just need to like figure out what those things and people are. But then this card, or this book rather, has yang and yin, so like in your feminine and your masculine. So in yang, leaving behind the past, disappointment, seeking the truth, and self-discovery. In yin, indecision, fear of the unknown, making regrettable choices and avoiding responsibilities. And then to align to, you know, get the answers that you're looking for, like what do I need to leave behind, what's no longer serving me. It says to trust your gut feeling and make the change you have been putting off. So with that one, I'll just need to do some self-reflection, because I didn't feel like, I'll just need to do some self-reflection because there were a few things that I had been thinking about leaving behind. As it comes to career, there are things I definitely know I need to leave behind, but things I've been thinking about leaving behind that I necessarily haven't made that decision to, and I just need to sit and reflect. But I do feel like this card resonates with me, and anytime a card I feel like doesn't resonate with me, I don't necessarily like ignore the card completely. I kind of just think about, is there any way that it applies to my life, and if not, I'll just keep it in back of mind because maybe it'll come up at a later point. Okay, the next one is the Father of Wands. Here is the Father of Wands. Okay, visionary leader, what this card represents. And the card description. A man is giving a presentation in a field against a backdrop of the mountain. The Father of Wands embodies the fiery energy that comes with creating new strategies, replacing old and outdated methods. He is ready to step up and take the lead when opportunities arise. The Father of Wands can motivate others with his expansive energy. He is a reminder that success requires discipline and commitment. In a reading, this card highlights the importance of shaking things up walking the unbeaten path and bringing your imagination and dreams into reality. In yang, motivation, the big picture, wisdom, inspirational speaking. In yin, impulsiveness, ruthlessness, smooth talking, and betrayal. To align, make different choices around triggers and cycles. This card, I feel like it definitely aligns with my life, because one of the things that they mentioned was discipline and commitment. And those are two of the things that I'm working on, especially when it comes to routine, especially when it comes to doing things that I love. I know that I want to practice these things to get better, to get more creative, to allow my creativity to really flow. But in my everyday life, I do struggle with committing to routines and committing to things, and with discipline. And I'm in therapy, working on getting better in that part, but it's not something that's overnight, of course. It's something that takes some time. And then the importance of shaking things up and walking the unbeaten path and bringing your imagination and dreams into reality. I feel like that's just like the entire theme of my life. There's so much I want to do. A lot of it is creative. A lot of it is paths that have never been explored by people around me or in family. And so I am taking this road, I guess, less traveled. And so sometimes that is harder, because I feel like I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to turn my dreams into reality. So yeah, I don't know. These were interesting reads. And I usually just keep the card in the book with me, and I'll look at it like at the end of day, because sometimes I'll need to read the card and just kind of be like, okay. But then other times I need to read it, let it sit with me, and then come back to it and then see how I'm feeling, or see if that card has pulled up any feelings or any reflections that I may have. So next I'm going to do my morning pages. I have recently just started the Artist Way, and every morning you're supposed to wake up and do morning pages, which is essentially just writing 3 pages in your journal, writing the first thing and writing whatever comes to mind. It's really just like a practice to get you in the habit of writing, a practice to clear your thoughts. And so I want to make sure that I write first and get all my thoughts out, because although this is supposed to be a daily practice, it's not something that I have been doing every single day, because again, working on that commitment, working on that discipline. I'm gonna go and grab my journal, write these 3 pages, and then after that I'm going to meditate, because I want to meditate with a clear mind. Okay, so here is my journal, and I'm just gonna go in and write whatever comes to mind. And sometimes I'll play music with this, sometimes I won't. Today I'll be silent. I'll sit in silence. All right. Okay. I just finished my 3rd page of journaling. I think that took about 15 minutes, and I feel so much better just getting all of my thoughts out of my head and onto the page. So all of my thoughts out of my head onto the page. I just feel really thankful, and I feel really grateful for the space I'm in my life right now. That's kind of like what the theme of the journal was. Like, I feel very hopeful for the future, and I feel very confident that my dreams will eventually become my reality. And although I'm not like super happy with where I am in life, I know that this is temporary and that things will get better. So I don't know, I feel really good. So now I'm gonna do a meditation. To be honest with y'all, I've been trying to build up the habit of meditating every single day, but I don't always have the attention span to meditate every day for 2 minutes. So I think today I'm gonna do a 7-minute meditation, or maybe 5 minutes. I don't know. But I've been using Insight Timer for my meditation. I've been using Insight Timer for my meditation, and let's see. Today's quote is, "Let yourself be silently drawn. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love." They always give you like a quote, and that's the quote of the day. But yeah, I'm gonna do I really want to say 5 minutes because I don't really feel like meditating right now, but I want to do it anyway. I don't really feel like meditating right now, but I know that it feels really good when I don't feel like meditating right now in terms of my attention span, but I'm trying to build up the habit where I do it more often and do it every day. And so I'm going to do a 5-minute meditation with the meditation music that I picked on my app. And yeah, I'm going to get to it. So that was the end bell of my meditation. That was actually a really good 5 minutes. I felt like I could have done it a lot longer. I really actually did have the attention span for that one. I thought I didn't, but it turns out I did. Okay. So it's currently 10:27 because 1, this is a slow morning routine, but 2, it takes a longer time to like record and set up, so it probably wouldn't have taken this 2 hours that you guys are seeing right now. But the last thing that I like to do in the mornings is read. So I've been trying to do this thing where at least during the week when I wake up at 6 for work, I've been trying to do this thing where I don't touch my phone until 9 a.m. or I don't touch my phone until I've done some of my morning routine. Like I said, I have to try to fit it in and get it in like I have to try to fit it in and get it in and fit it in when I can. And so if I've done some of these morning routine practices, I'll touch my phone at 9, but sometimes if I haven't, I'll wait a little bit longer. But the goal is to at least be awake for 3 to 4 hours, whether that's doing the morning routine or working without touching my phone. And when I say touching my phone, that typically means, and when I say touching my phone, I mean getting on social media, scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, and things like that. Like not texting people or not checking the weather, but really just like not getting on social media, because I want to give myself a chance to just like ground myself, be present. And so right now, one of the things that I have been doing in the mornings is reading my book for an hour or 30 minutes to an hour. Right now I'm reading Rest is Resistance, a manifesto by Trisha Hershey of the Nat Ministry. And I really like this book so far. It's really just I really like this book so far, and I'm halfway through, and this book is really like challenging what I think about rest and how I've been thinking about rest for a really long time. And I do think rest is super important. I do think people need to rest, but sometimes I feel like when I'm resting that I'm not productive. And that's really what this book is trying to get you to like, it's really what this book is trying to get you to think about. Like, You don't always have to be productive. You don't always have to be moving. You don't always have to be working on a project. Sometimes you can rest because it's what you need, it's what your body needs. And sometimes you can rest because it's really just what you want to do, period. So yeah. And I don't know, if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a Black person. One of the things that Trisha talks about in this book is that a lot of Black people come from a long line of exhaustion. We come from a long line of people working super hard and not really getting the chance to rest. And then of course like the times before that when we didn't have the opportunity to work, or during times of slavery. Like if you look at our bloodline and just like our lineage, like there are a lot of times where we have not had the opportunity to rest. And so in reading this book, I'm hoping that it's going to change the way that I look at rest, and it's going to allow me and encourage me to rest more. So I'm almost on page 100, and there's 200 pages in this book. So I'm on part 2 right now because I'm on part 2 right now because Trisha has this framework that she's breaking down. And yeah, I'm just gonna read this book for about 30 minutes, and then after that I think I'm gonna make a quick protein shake and then work out and be on my way. But that is the end of my, before I read the book, that is the end of my slow morning routine that also includes spiritual practices. I really like my mornings to be slow and really like leisure, just because I really want to do things that I want to do, and I really want to do things that help me out. So thank you guys so much for watching this morning routine video. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe and share. Follow me across all socials at Becoming Cleo, and I'll see you guys in the next video.